Now we are going to be making some chicken jalfrezi from that book and that book. So it's exactly like the recipe in the book. I'm going to tell you some things that I do differently a lot of times because in the books I like to vary the recipes, and so a lot of times for example, I would use curry leaves in this, but I use curry leaves in other recipes, so I don't want to have curry leaves in every recipe. So I'm making this exactly like it is in the book today. But obviously, if you want to maybe take a teaspoon of mustard seeds and just infuse those in the oil, maybe a couple cumin seeds, throw in some curry leaves before adding the onions and all that, go for it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. These are curry house recipes, the way I learned them, the way I learned how to do them. But go ahead and do what you want to do with them. You can add different vegetables to it. You can do a lot of different things with this recipe. So this is it in its basic form, just so you can see roughly how it's done in the pan. And feel free to ask if you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and light this up. And I'm using an aluminum pan here, which is really good for curry house style recipes because it heats up so quickly. The downside, it also cools down quickly. So I use a cast iron pan for slow cooked items because it takes forever to go up to heat, but then it retains the heat if I'm serving it at the table. But for something like this, where I'm cooking something really quick, 10 minutes, I use the aluminum or a stainless steel pan. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple tablespoons of oil there just to cover the bottom of the pan. Move that around in there. Then I'm going to add some coriander stalks. The coriander stalk is what has the most flavor. That's cilantro to anyone watching from abroad. And I got some sliced onion there and some bell pepper. I don't think I need all that. Use about that much. And all I'm doing here is I'm cooking the onions and peppers and everything for a couple of minutes. I don't want to have them go really soft in the oil. I want them to still have a bit of a crunch to them.
Helen said you couldn't get any coriander because of the bad weather. She couldn't get out. Could she use mint instead of coriander in this?
I see no reason why not. It'd be a completely different tasting curry, but why not? If it sounds good to you and you like the flavor of mint, go for it. Especially if you're making this with like lamb, that would be very nice. Lamb jalfrezi. Okay, I'm just going to add about a teaspoon, not even a teaspoon, a pinch of salt there. Give that another stir. And then I'm going to add some garlic and ginger paste. I'm only adding about a tablespoon. Now, if you're looking in my books, you'll know that the recipes serve 4 people or more as part of a multi-course meal. And I'm kind of having it tonight, so this is, and you can do that. This is just a half recipe of what's in my book. More like a curry house size. This is what they'd be doing in a curry house. They'd be making things as they are ordered. So my recipes in my book are more family size, and this is more curry house size. To that, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of chili powder and a tablespoon of mixed powder, and that's the special curry house style curry powder. You could just use curry powder if you have a good quality one, but I have a recipe on how to make it on my site. So as you can see we're just building this from the bottom up now. And that's looking quite nice. Just the spice is bubbling away there in the oil. And now I'm going to add chilies. I have some more chilies for the end as well. So that's some chopped chili. And now some tomato puree. And I want to bring that right up to a simmer before adding the base sauce.
Andrew's saying you can see a packet of the base sauce blend there. He's been using that. And is that what you've used this evening? It's not actually, is it?
No, I didn't realize that was there. But this is regular. This is a homemade that we made ourselves. But I use it all the time, and I hope you're enjoying it because it does make things a lot easier.
It's available at spicekitchenuk.com, isn't it?
Yeah. So that can't happen.
It's really good when you just run out of base sauce, and it's great to have on hand. We've used it a couple of times when we've been desperate.
Yeah, that idea happened because of a little experiment I did after visiting my son at his college dorm. And he had some like tomato soup or something like that, which was done with a powder. And so I took all the ingredients, the vegetables that go into a base curry sauce, and dehydrated them, ground them, and made them into a base. And then I told these people over at Spice Kitchen about it, and they thought that they could make it. And I think they've done a really good job.
It's really useful compromise, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's not meant to be a substitute so much. It is.
Thanks, Andrew. He's put the website on if anyone wants to go and have a look.
Yeah, thank you. So I got some base sauce here. I'm just using a couple of ladlefuls. I think in my book I said I use 700 milliliters. Here I'm using, I don't know how much. I'm just I'm adding it as and when it looks like it needs it. So as you can see, as it cooks, and I wish I had a metal spoon now, but as it cooks, it kind of caramelizes around the side of the pan. And I can just leave that there. See, if you look in the center, it's not going to burn. It's gonna heat up around the sides, and then you just want to scrape that in for extra flavor. But if you look at the center, it's not burning. So you don't need to be stirring this at all unless it's sticking to the pan. So look around the sides of the pan there. Add a little bit more base if it's looking dry. If it's too saucy, if you happen to add too much base sauce, it just looks like a soup because you accidentally put too much in, that's okay too. There's so many vegetables in the base sauce that it's not like water. It doesn't take forever to cook down. As you can see, this has just been in there for a little while, and it is cooking down very quickly. There you are. Because the vegetables, it cooks down very, very quickly. All right, to that, I'm going to add some pre-cooked chicken I made. Maybe not all of that. Try some of it. And there's some juices there too from it, so I may as well get that in there because that's nice flavor. And I'm just going to give that a nice stir. And obviously, if you look at this, look at the pan there, you see there's not enough sauce, so add a little bit more.
Mark's saying, how about throwing the haggis pakora in? Well, we could do, but we've eaten it.
We just ate it. We have to fry up some more.
Cut out there. We have got more to fry up, yeah. We had that in the interlude.
There you are. So, stirring that right in there. And see that, how it's kind of just going on the side there. Just get that off as best you can, because you don't want to lose that flavor from it. Now, I'm going to add a couple more of these peppers now that the other ones have been cooking in there for a while. Just give it some more textures, color. Now, to that, I'm going to add 1/4 tomato there. Let's get that right down in there in the sauce. And I add that at the end because I don't want it to look like it's been really cooked. I just want it to heat through a bit. This is one that I make at all my classes just because it's probably I've heard it's the most popular curry served at curry houses now. Not chicken tikka masala, like a lot of people think, but people are kind of venturing out and asking for spicier curries, but maybe not as spicy as Madras or Vindaloo. And that's kind of what you get with a Jalfrezi. Add a little bit more sauce to that. But yeah, I make this at all my classes just because it is so straightforward. There's only 2 spices in it. You got your base sauce. I mean your mixed powder, and you got your chili powder. So the rest of it's just kind of like a vegetable stir fry with some meat thrown in. There we are. That's looking really nice now. Now, because we like it quite spicy, I'm going to add some fresh chilies to that at the end.
Paul's saying, what can I use instead of base sauce?
you could fry some onions. So finely chop some onions. If you've ever been to the supermarket where they have their pre-chopped onions, that's the perfect size. I wouldn't recommend buying those because it's so easy to do at home, a lot cheaper. But just finely chopped onions. Put some oil in there like I did. Fry up the onions until they're a nice light brown, soft, translucent. And you're going to want a good 2 onions to do that. Because if you think this is really a onion stock, so you're going to want to have 1.5, 2 onions, a finely chopped onion. You just cook that over a medium heat in that oil until they're nice and soft, and then carry on with the recipe. So it's that simple.
Although some people do use carrot and coriander soup, I don't think that sounds very nice.
It doesn't work. I've tried it. I don't like it myself. I think that if you're going to make these curries, you may as well make them with the base, because
John's saying, can you use the base?
I think that it's okay to not use a base with this recipe, because originally it wasn't made with a base over in India. But you'll get a different curry. It won't be this. You'll taste completely different, because if you think of there's quite a few ingredients that go into the base, so you'll be lacking those, but you'll still be getting something that tastes very authentic, very much like what you get over in India.
Can you use the base sauce to pre-cook the chicken?
Yes, definitely. I do that all the time. It's a good cheat. I mean, I know I have a recipe for throw some coriander on there. I have a recipe for pre-cooked chicken, which is kind of like a chicken stew almost in my books. But when I can't be bothered to do all that, I just cook it either tandoori, or I throw it in a... That's looking great.
Thank you, Gavin, and happy burns night to you up there in St Andrews. He's saying he loved making the base sauce with you on your curry class. So. Hi, Gavin.
Hey, Gavin. There we are. That's looking perfect now. I'm going to add a little bit of the castor methi, or dried fenugreek. And I'm telling you, look at that. That looks just like what you're going to get at any curry house. But I think when you make things at home, they just seem to taste better.
Someone's saying they've heard you can use French onion soup. He wouldn't do it, but
yeah, it tastes like a French curry, I think. So add a little bit of salt to that. I know how much I like. You'll know how much you like, so I don't ever tell you how much salt to put in there, but that's how much I'm putting in. You've got to try. Oh wait, I got to put some. This isn't in the recipe in the book, but I don't care. Put a little bit of lime juice over that. A little bit of, this is in the recipe, a little bit of garam masala there. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous.
Matt's saying, can you recommend a good curry powder?
Yeah. Let's see. I do a curry powder.
It's from curry.
Yeah, it's not, the thing is, if you just want to go curry powder, don't get them from the supermarkets. Let's go over here to this.
Right, there's the Jalfrezi.
Don't go to the supermarkets, because you'll just get a small little thing of curry powder and it'll be way expensive. Go to an Asian shop or online. Like I say, I have Curry Guy Madras curry powder, which is available from Spice Kitchen UK. But that is, that's high range. That's upmarket spices, very good quality spices, roasted and ground, and very good stuff. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, go to an Asian shop, and they will have really nice curry powders. And depends on East End do a nice one, Raja do a nice one. So just find one that you like. Maybe buy a small a bag of it first, and then if you like it, order more next time. But I would seriously say stay away from the supermarkets, because they're just usually...
Phil's saying make your own curry powder.
That's why I put the recipes in my book, because if you can make them,
it's quite time consuming though, isn't it?
It's time consuming, but if you make a big batch, like I gave big batches, it will keep for a good 3 months. And if you think about how long those little jars of curry powder probably were in a warehouse somewhere for 6 months before they even hit the shelves, you're going to find that what you make at home is 100 times better. It will be. So that's the best thing to do, is to make your own. It's also the cheapest way to do it if you don't mind cooking. If you like cooking, that's the way. That's the thing to do. If you're not, if you just want to taste curry house style food, but you're not all that crazy about cooking, go buy some, but get them in a bigger package from a good, good quality curry powder from an Asian shop.
Gavin's asking a question. Can you use the meat from the lamb masala curry recipe in the blue book in this jalfrezi?
Yes, definitely. And use some of it, some of the curry, the sauce from the curry, use that too. Just put some of that in there. Because it's all about building layers, just... if you saw, when I added the chicken, I saw there's some juices from the chicken, from the barbecue chicken that I had. I added those to it, and that gave it kind of a chicken flavor. You could do the same thing, adding lamb with a little bit of... especially since you slowly cooked that lamb masala, it's slowly cooked for a good long time. So you're going to add a different flavor to the jalfrezi, a lamb flavor, which is what you want if you're having lamb jalfrezi, and it'll make it taste like it's been cooking for hours when actually you just whipped it up in 10 minutes. So it's a good idea to do that.
And what difference does the fenugreek leaves make?
It just tastes like fenugreek. If you go into an Indian restaurant and that's what hits you first, that smell of fenugreek. And so it is when I think of a Indian restaurant, that's what I smell, is fenugreek. So smell some, you'll recognize it.
Can you use the ground fenugreek instead of the leaves then?
I wouldn't do it in this, no. I would just add the leaves to this. The ground I usually add either to a large sauce, quite a lot, or maybe just sparingly to infuse in some oil sometimes. But with BIR, so British Indian Restaurant Cooking, you want to be looking at those because they just add a very mild flavor, whereas the ground fenugreek is quite strong.
When you pre-cook the chicken, what's the best way to do this, please?
It depends on how you want to do it. I barbecued this. You could pre-cook it in a sauce.
In the base sauce,
yeah,
to make it easy.
You could just to make it easy. I mean, like I say, I have a pre-cooked chicken recipe in my books, but also when I just can't be bothered, I just have the base sauce, throw the chicken in there, cook it through, and that not only cooks the chicken through, but it also flavors the sauce. So you're getting a little bit more chicken flavor in your curry, which is great.
Okay, I think we're finished with the double whammy of cookie
right.
recipes tonight.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and to all those of you who are celebrating Burns Night tonight, like we are, enjoy. And we will be back on Wednesday evening at 5:20. That's 5:20 GMT, 5:20 p.m. GMT. And we're going to be making some dal. We've had so many requests for tarka dal, so I'm going to be showing you a couple of versions and just show you how it's done. And it's all the secrets in the tarka. The lentils, when you cook them, you'll be thinking, oh, this is a bit bland. Even though I put some stuff in there, it's a bit bland. Wait till that tarka hits it. So hopefully some of you will be cooking with me on Wednesday evening. I'll make sure that the recipe's out there for you. But you'll need some curry leaves. I think you'll probably have most everything else that's in there. And I'm going to be cooking with, I think I'm going to be cooking some with the red dal here. I'm going to be using some of this red dal. And I'm going to be using some chana dal, which I don't have up there. But I'm going to be using, kind of looks like this, the yellow ones. That's pigeon. I'm going to be using doing some chana dal recipe and also the red dal, and they're both tarka dals. So we'll be doing both of those just to show you the difference, and hope to see you then. Thank you very much.